Hello and welcome in. So I've already shuffled and I'm just going to start laying out the cards. I read mind, body, and soul lines, past, present, and future. Okay, so to get right into it, in the past position, we have the Eight of Wands in the mind line past position. So the Eight of Wands is rapid change, leading towards new experiences, new growth. It's that fiery energy of expansion and really moving purposefully towards what you want to create in your life. As entrepreneurs, we are tasked with being able to cut out, or the need to cut out the noise and cut out the outside world and really just focus on the vision and focus on creating that change and being able to, especially if you're working in a service-based field or you really want to help people, being able to direct your energy towards what you want and transmute all of the past experiences that you've had and all of your own challenges into lessons and into growth for other people really allows you to not only have more of that rebirth energy for yourself, but helps us create a new world where people are more clear about their purpose for being here and who they are and what they're really here for. We have Aeon, rebirth, in the alignment line. And Aeon, we've got the fetus right here, this little baby still within the womb, coming into this world that has both beauty and abundance, but also has a lot of trauma and trouble. But if you notice right up here, this is all happening on the mental plane of existence. So we have three planes of existence in this world, and we really can choose where we put our attention and where we put our focus and where you put your energy, and allowing yourself to see that we live in a mental universe. And so the thoughts that you have are creating the reality that you're experiencing. And the reality that you're seeing right now, your three-dimensional reality as you look out into your day-to-day life, is a result of your past thoughts. So it's reality plays the catch-up game. When you manifest, and we're always manifesting, whether you're doing it consciously or not, when you manifest, there's a delay effect. So you're manifesting your day-to-day life, you're manifesting the career that you want, you're manifesting what you want in life, but reality has a delay effect. And it's healthy, it's good, because if you said, oh, I want to manifest an elephant and it landed on top of your head right now, you'd be sorry. So there's that delay effect. But what reality comes into fruition is based on your dominant thoughts and your dominant frequency. So really being able to hold yourself in that sense of wonder and that sense of rebirth at all times, like what could happen next? What good is happening for me now? And really appreciating all levels of the experience and choosing where you want to put your energy and where you want to hold your frequency is what allows you to experience the life that you want to create, the life that you truly want to be living, not the life that you think you want to be living while you're focused on the life that you don't want to be living. In the future position, you have to be able to use your own discernment. You have to be able to listen to your own intuition. We have the High Priestess coming in the future position. So that perception of your reality is what is going to create the fabric of your reality and is going to create that experience for you. And you have this intuition about you, which allows you to decide and allows you to hear your higher self and to communicate with the universe. It's available to all of us. We have the mechanisms, we have the coding, we have the DNA inside of us that allows us to download information straight from the universe. But what has happened through life and through society's conditioning is that intuition has been turned off as much as possible through the food that we eat, through the environments that we're placed in, through the news, through the entertainment. So all of these things were designed to separate us from our intuition, because that intuition with the Son of Swords, the Prince of Swords coming up in the past position, symbolized by Osiris, the Prince of Swords has that ability to understand the great mysteries and has that ability to have that intuitive process that the high priestess leads us towards and be able to decide what fits and what doesn't fit in the reality that you're creating, and be able to cut through the noise and cut through all of the confusion of life to really say, this is what this mystery is teaching. This is what this mystery means. This is what the law of correspondence means. This is what the law of mentalism means. There's the 7 principles that rule the universe are there for us to discern and are there for us to utilize to create reality. We have disappointment, the 5 of Cups coming up in the central position. And so this is in the body line, and we tend to hold on to disappointments in our body. We hold on to experiences that get stuck in our nervous system and stuck in our body until we're able to transmute them and let them go. And tarot is simply a tool to help us look at different energies and look at different archetypes and look at different ways that we can embody different energies in order to change our experience. So disappointment can become relief. It can become gratitude for all the things that you learned, all of that disarray and that trauma and those troubles all pour into that central cup. If you flip this card over to transmute that energy, it pours into that cup and it becomes wisdom. It becomes an offering for others. It becomes a way for you to turn your experiences and your life into abundance and into something new for yourself. If you're willing to allow yourself to do so and allow yourself that fresh start. You have to make that decision. You have to decide that you're going to change your life and then keep selecting that decision over and over and over again until the universe brings it into fruition. The Ace of Stones came up in the reverse. So that's that hesitation to have that new beginning. But if you transmute that energy and you flip it around and you start looking for the beauty, the mystery, the magic in life with this rainbow, there's so much magic, and the stars that align us to our dreams and show us the direction to go, and the signs and the synchronicities, the crow symbolizing those messages from beyond the veil, from the other worlds that tell you, yes, you're in alignment. Yes, this is the right direction you're moving in. If you ask the universe for signs, it will always deliver. You just have to trust the process, and you just have to allow yourself to be open to recognize them and to start to interpret them for yourself using your intuition. We have 8 of Stones coming up in the past position, knowledge. This is the knowledge that you've gained and all the experience that you've gained from everything that you've gone through. And you've been able to turn that into, by looking for the clarity, that bubble of clarity, by looking for the truth, your truth, not someone else's truth, the truth that is true for you, because we all have our individual gifts and we all have our individual purpose that we come here with. So the truth is subjective. All truths are half truths, but your truth, what matters to you the most, what lights you up from within the most, what makes you feel the most fulfilled, what makes you feel the most authentic and as the brightest and best version of yourself is personal to you. No one else can tell you what is going to make you happy. No one else can decide for you what is going to turn your life into the richest, most beautiful expression of yourself but you. So stepping into that power and deciding and selecting the version of reality that you want to experience is a minute by minute job until you're able to really surrender and you're able to just be in this detached place of everything is happening for me, everything is happening as it should, and I'm just here to guide the ship, looking for that richness, looking for the abundance, flipping that energy over. The 10 of Stones came up in the reverse. So that's that hesitation to recognize abundance everywhere. If you walk outside and you look in nature, you can see abundance everywhere. If you look around in life, you can see abundance everywhere. It's just being distributed in different ways. but you can call that abundance in and you can allow yourself to experience it in a very concrete material way, because the pentacles, the stones, it's richness. This is material wealth. This is material abundance. This is something coming into fruition. But you have to be able to allow yourself to focus on that, to allow your awareness to rest there, and then surrender to the process, being willing to do the work. We have also in reverse coming up in the future position, we have work, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Stones. So the work isn't always the work of doing. The work is the work of being. We are human beings. You are a human being. You are not a human doing. You have to remember that, because you can sit back and let the universe deliver, and the more relaxed and the more open you are to how things can show up in your life, the more the universe gets to pour in with this creative quality. The universe wants to co-create with you. Co-creation. You are the universe. And if you think about the root of the word universe, universe, you are creating your universe through your thoughts, through your emotions, and through your frequency. So sometimes the work, if we want to transmute this energy, the work then becomes in alignment. This is a communal, co-creative process. The work can be just to get out of your own way. The work can be to let go of your resistance, your internal resistance to having a different life, that old identity that wants to keep you stuck in your old way of being. You can't create your most abundant reality through your old identity. You have to let that old identity die, because those old identities were what you created to survive. They were what you created to manage your family systems, what you created to manage your community, what you created to be accepted by society. So those scarcity, I have to change myself, I have to shrink, I have to walk on eggshells, I have to people please, I have to swallow my anger and swallow my feelings. That's not you. That's an identity that you started to create out of a sense of survival, a way for you to stay safe. But when you come back into the truth of who you really are by using your intuition and tapping into your inner clarity, then the work is just to let go of the resistance to the new identity, to that new self. Because the old self doesn't want to die. They want to stay alive. They want to stay in existence. And when you let them die and let them go, they cease to exist. Your new self is going to obliterate them. And that is a beautiful thing. But you have to understand that your mind is going to think it's very dangerous, and your nervous system is going to get activated. And so it's up to you to have that mental clarity using that Prince of Swords energy. Have that mental clarity to be able to know the truth of what your mind is saying. The mind is a very, very unreliable witness, because the mind takes all of your past experiences, looks at how they came out, and was like, oh, this is the move that I need to make. I need to self-protect. I need to shrink here. I need to put up walls here. I need to make a defensive move here. But if you are a conscious creator and you want to consciously create, then you need to be making offensive moves. You need to be seeing your moves 10 steps ahead so that you can have that clarity and that sense of precision about what you're creating, what you're selecting to experience. And in the position of you, we have the 5 of Stones coming up in the reverse position. So that material difficulty that you experienced in your past is passing. We have the I Ching. So you can see in the reverse, this I Ching, and I don't know which one it is. We'd have to look it up. But this, all of it's flowing in, right? Everything is coming in from the top down, flowing into the foundation. So all the experiences, all the disappointments, all the traumas, all the struggles and scarcity that you've gone through are informing this new way of abundance that you're allowing yourself to experience. Let's see what the good luck card of the day. Again, we're getting the Prince of Swords energy. The Knight of Swords coming in again. So that is doubling down on that discernment, that cutting away quality that you can take to really be able to decipher through all of the mumbo jumbo of society to say, this is where I'm directing my life. This is where I'm directing my business. This is where I'm directing my energy. This is where I'm directing my thoughts minute by minute. That's the work. Redirection of your thoughts, because your brain is like a computer operating system. So if you've been thinking the same thoughts for the last 40 years, your computer operating system is bogged down with so much useless information and useless thought processes and useless patterns. And to be able to give yourself a new beginning, those patterns have to be looked at not from a place of judgment, but from a place of clarity. We don't judge ourselves for the way that we lived in the past, because you're always doing the best that you can in any given moment with the information that's available to you. So self-judgment is never a useful experience to allow yourself to have. Self-discernment, self-clarity, being truly clear about what you're making the story mean, what beliefs that you have, and really questioning your beliefs. Is this really true? Is a very powerful way to start to reroute the brain and allowing yourself to have fun with the process, because the brain takes many, 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 many repetitions to start to make that new neurological pathway, that new synopsis to form takes hundreds of repetitions. But if we're having fun, if you're relaxed, if you're in flow, it only takes 10 to 15. So you can decide, would you rather take 400 different repetitions of the same thought, saturating that new thought over and over and over to rewire that neural pathway that says you're not enough, or you're not ready, or nothing is working, or whatever story you're telling yourself. Oh, that thing can only happen for those kind of people, or they can do it, but I can't. Those old stories need to die. So in order to let them die, you must create those new neural pathways. If it can happen for them, it can happen for me. They can do it, so can I. If they had success doing something like that, so can I, right? It's a totally different reframing. It's a totally different thought process. So if you're having fun with it, you shorten the process. Would you rather do something 400 times over, or would you rather have fun and laugh and play and dance and see your life as this abundant, joyful game that it actually is, and do the thing 10 to 15 times to start to get that new neural pathway formed? Because once it's formed, you're not going to go back. You're not going to say, oh, I had so much fun thinking negative thoughts, I'm going to go back there. Your life starts to change, and you start to call in more and more abundance and more beautiful connections. And it just starts to compound on itself, but it starts with you, and the ball starts rolling with you, and you keep adding to it and keep adding good thoughts and good experiences, and it snowballs and it grows. And if you look at the Fibonacci sequence, your most desired reality is inevitable, because that's how the math works out. It expands. As long as you keep expanding and spiraling outwards into that expansion and allowing yourself to expand, not holding yourself back out of fear. When you start to feel that fear and you start to feel the pressure of life closing in on you, the natural reaction, and we all do this, I've done this a million times, and I probably will continue to do it, because I'm also learning. We're always learning. The work is always the work, right? It's always there for us. But lean into the pressure, lean into the fear. When something feels unfamiliar, it feels terrible, that's not a sign to pull back. As long as you're moving towards positive intention. Obviously, if you're in danger, pull back and move. But the brain is going to interpret something that actually serves your business and serves your purpose as danger. It's going to lie to you about it. So leaning into the pressure, the fear of not knowing how to do something, can only be solved through doing it, through experiencing it, through leaning into the pressure. So I was in the position of you in the rune reading, And Aiwas is that avertive power. It's that discerning quality of the Prince of Swords. So now we've got this energy 3 times. So if that is not a sign for you to be very discerning and very clear about what you want and what you want to experience, I don't know what is, because you're being told over and over and over. There's that repetition for you. And in the past position, we have the blank rune. And the blank rune is associated with Odin. It's associated with the tree of knowledge, with Yggdrasil. And trees are these beautiful conduits of energy. Your human body is also a conduit between heaven and earth. So you can communicate with the heavens, you can communicate with the earth, just like trees. And trees bring us the knowledge of our ancestors. They bring us the wisdom of all of the years and decades and that they've lived, and their root system is attached to each other through the mycelium. And so it's this vast information grid. So when you talk to the trees and you spend time with trees, you are connecting with the heavens and earth, and you are tapping into this system of knowledge that is so profound. And all that requires of you is the willingness to surrender to the process and the willingness to surrender to the greater knowledge and the greater wisdom that's available in the world, not be so caught up in the 3D. And in the future position of the runes, we have Dagaz. Dagaz is that breakthrough day, new beginnings. So in order to give yourself new beginnings, you have to have the willingness to interpret the mysteries of the world and interpret all the things that will either lead you towards what you want or away from it, and be able to really allow yourself that new beginning with that Ace of Stones energy, and be able to give yourself a breakthrough in any moment. You can choose to have a breakthrough. You can choose to look at something from a new perspective in any given moment, and you can start leading yourself towards a different way of being in your life. And that really allows you to start to create from a foundational sense of abundance. We have Fehu in the foundation position. Fehu is all about abundance. Fehu is about possessions, but it's possessions that serve the greater good, not possessions for the sake of possessions. Possessions for the sake of possessions signal lack. They signal a sense of scarcity or loss inside. Possessions because I'm cool with this thing and I'm cool without it, and I love to share the richness of my life with others and use my resources to help others. That's a completely different energy than I must hoard and shut out the rest of the world, and I must have more than the next person because that's how I determine how worthy I am. We can see how well that has worked out for us. And we can also see how that paradigm is falling away. People are starting to see through the facade and the bullshit and say, you know what? I actually don't need any of that. I actually am really happy just having a really simple life. And they're starting to realize that true abundance is nature. It's like we'll just call it the patriarchy. It's like the patriarchy said, all of this free stuff, nature's completely free. Air's free, water's free, trees are free, nature is free. All of this beautiful free abundance, we're going to tell you that it's bad and it's lame and it's boring, and we're going to replace it with this artificial reality. We're going to replace it with entertainment. We're going to replace it with money and with trinkets and jewels and things that, I mean, I love gems. Trust me. I love the energetic qualities and the metaphysical qualities of gems. And I love beautiful things. I am a fashion person. I am a designer and a creator at heart. So I love beautiful things, but you don't have to fuck people over to have a beautiful life. You can create a beautiful life because you have a beautiful quality about you. You have a beautiful aesthetic. You have a beautiful sense of creativity that you love to share with others. You have a beautiful way of looking at the world and a beautiful way of decorating your world and sharing your world with others. But that doesn't mean that you have to spend $1 million or have designer goods all over the place in order to be abundant and be wonderful. You can actually create abundance from nothing. We have Urus coming up in the challenge position. Urus is all about strength. It's a rune of termination. So letting old things die so that you can have the new breakthrough. It's positive growth and positive change and allowing yourself to really tap into your nature, your true nature, and move it towards what you want to experience. And understanding that there's a passage through the darkness. There's going to be these material difficulties. There's going to be these challenging, disappointing experiences that teach you how to move forward. And in the future position, we have Gabo, the gift. Gabo is partnership. That's partnership with people you love. That's partnership with yourself. That's partnership with the universe. The gift is that the universe is so abundant, so infinitely abundant, and that abundance is always available to you. And you're able to tap into it at any time, as long as you're able to allow yourself to let go of the old stories and to challenge those old beliefs and to really be clear about what you want to experience, and then start experiencing that in your imagination. Start allowing yourself to feel the good feelings now, because that preps you and that prepares the table for the feast that you're about to experience. And you're doing such a beautiful job so far, and you've come so far in your life. Don't give up now. Just keep on looking for more ways to enjoy yourself. True enjoyment, not escapism, but true love and lust for life. And yeah, just keep going, because you've got this. My name is Jordana, and this is what it is. I like to keep things pretty accessible here. A lot of this stuff can be extremely confusing, or there's just a lot of information. There's so many different ways of looking at things, but practically, manifestation is real. You're always doing it. You can decide if you want to consciously manifest, or you can just keep manifesting from your subconscious patterns. There's no shame either way. But here we're all about co-creating with the universe in a conscious way so that we can create lives that we love, and we can create realities that we love to exist in, serving and sharing our gifts with the world from that place of love and abundance. So I'm so happy that you're here with me, and let's all just keep co-creating in the most conscious way possible. And if you'd like, I have a extended journey for those of you who want to explore this type of creation on your own. It's called The Art of Conscious Creation, and the link is in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful day. Much love.